Greetings, sacred beings, sacred souls. Welcome to Sacred HERstory podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Natasia. And today, for our Sacred HERstory guest speaker, we have Irene Vaksberg. She is a motivational speaker that inspires her followers every day through the power of social media. She documents her journey overcoming chronic pain and finding her miracle through a groundbreaking technology that gave her life back to her. Irene is a business owner, hairdresser for 30 plus years, mother, and passionate advocate for social injustice issue. So, Irene, welcome. Welcome to Sacred HERstory podcast. I'm so thankful we connected and you're here today.
Thank you, Jennifer Natalia. Hopefully I pronounced your name
Just call
correctly.
me Jen. It's okay.
Okay,
Jennifer
Jennifer,
Natasia, yeah, but
thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so excited. Your energy is congested. She can speak English is my language. We're gonna have lots of fun. I can see that already.
yes, yes. No, you know what? And I love that, English is your second language. This is for everyone. And, why don't you share your background? Let's start there because your background is so incredible. So I'm just like, wow, wow. And there's so many things that you've experienced, and I'm sure that you're going to teach us so much in this episode.
Well, thank you so much. So I was born in former Soviet Union, and came to this country in 1979 when I was 12 years old. And life was not easy. Coming here as a child where you're developing, where you're trying to create friends and there's no language to do it. And it wasn't easy. It was absolutely horrific in times. People made fun of me, kids make fun of me, and adults made fun of me too as an adult. So the journey has been extremely, extremely difficult in parts of it, but it made me more resilient, right? Like I remember middle school, there was a bunch of kids were making fun of me, and I didn't have to understand the language to know. And of course, a couple of boys came up, and I could understand they were protecting me and telling the bullies that now we can say leave her alone, like leave her alone. So I experienced the hate, but I also experienced the love at the same time, and it made me a better human being, more patient, more empathetic, especially of the things that I don't understand. It made me want to listen more and slow down and be part of a community.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. And that's, how many of us can relate to being teased in when we were younger, probably even today, like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I love how you took that and you said it made you more resilient, more empathetic. I mean, that's so incredible and beautiful, because not a lot of us do take that and are able to say, I'm more resilient because of it. Some of us, it angers us, right?
Yes, and it's interesting that you said it because I know I was going to say if you follow me, but what if you decide to follow me, you'll hear. I always say, let the difficult moment make you not bitter but better.
Yeah.
So we can listen. I've been angry many occasions, and I had some hard words for God as well, because those difficult moments are super, super difficult. But I've also learned that it becomes our superpower, right? But it takes time to get to that superpower. We actually have to acknowledge the difficult moment, the pain, the disappointment, the betrayal. Listen, I've been married twice. My car accident showed me that I had no circle, or I had a superficial circle. And was I bitter for a minute? Yes. But then I said, something, these people are showing me how I'm not supposed to be. It's not a reflection of me, it's a reflection of them. But I'm going to learn from that because I want to support, not like that. But how I was taught in my home that if you have a penny, you give a half a penny. If you have a piece of bread, you give half of that piece of bread to someone that needs it. Not because there will be applaud. I'm having goosebumps because my father is channeling through me because that's what he has taught us, he said, Irene, community is everything. Without it, you can't live. And if somebody's struggling in that community, you go and help. And I was, stop me if you have another question. I get so excited talking. Thank goodness. I knew that my father was a special man, but thank goodness some of that beautiful soul and the gift he gave others, I was able to experience not only when he passed away, but also when he was alive. And I'll tell a quick little story. I walked into a pharmacy with my granddaughter. She was very young at the time, and the two women are running out, and they're like, oh my god, are you Gregory's and Sophia's daughter? I'm like, well, depends. The good thing or bad thing is like, oh my god, you don't understand, your father helped us so much, we were strangers, and with his broken English, while my cousin had a perfect English, he took us to ABCDFG and took care of everything. And after like 15 years, they still remember that goodness. So he's like, can you please tell them, please say hello to him and tell him that we still think of him and everything that he's done for us. So there you go.
Mm, that's
I'm
beautiful.
I
That's
live
amazing.
proud when I close the door.
I think that's so wonderful when you can hear some amazing moments from, your family, like your dad. Your dad sounds like he was your hero.
He was, and it was a very sad day when he left. But I honor his memory every single day. Sorry, something got in my eye.
Yeah.
By living fully, he was full of life. He was the center of attention in a good way. He created a community and inspired to people come together. And I practice that. I don't do things for applause. I do it because it's the right thing, and that's what he is installed in us.
I love that. Yeah. That's amazing because how many, it's like we have to spread that joy, right? Spread that love. And you definitely do it. I feel your energy is just so, when you said, yeah, I'm like, when I get angry, I'm like, do you even get angry? Because, yeah, we only had a couple conversation, but you're so positive, you're just so incredibly positive on things and especially moving at such a pivotal age of 12. That's where we usually get our womanhood and we're looking to be a part of, kids our age, like we want to be a part at that age. So that's, yeah, you're just so, like
Thank you.
uplifting. So thank you for bringing this energy. Can you share like what brought you, like how did you stay so positive through all this,
Well,
through all these things?
something. I love people, and again, it goes back to my father and the community that he's installed in us. And I've always felt like negativity bring more negativity, and I didn't even understand all of this, right? I just, like, deep down inside, I felt that I have to go and do and stay positive. And also at the same time, becoming a single mother and wanting to build my business, I wanted to show my daughter that even through the difficult moments, glass is still overflowing. There's still blessings in our lives. And I focused until I couldn't focus on that blessing. I focused on what I have and what I don't have. And
Mhm.
that's what got me through it, because I felt like, look, I have a roof over my shoulder. I have food. I'm providing for my child. Is it easy? No, but I'm making it happen. I'm living my dream. I'm building my baby steps to owning my own salon. And I was so grateful to it. And actually, my firstborn made me stronger. Like, I wanted to be a model for her to show, look, yes, we're divorced, but we're so happy, and nothing can hold you. That you should not be held back by somebody else's thought and opinions of you. And I didn't know, it just kind of came to me naturally. It's hard to explain. I just always had that positive energy, because I also saw my father, and there's, so positive. And there's a saying he always said, and I'll say it in English and then I'll in both languages. "Все будет хорошо." That means everything's going to be okay. And no matter what he was going through, or I would come in and I would say, "Dad, oh my God, this person and that person, oh, I'm struggling and I don't know what to do." And he's like, "Don't worry, everything is going to be okay." So I grew up with that, and I believed it. Right, I believed it with all my heart. All is going to work out, and again, I don't know how that happened. Just I think universe channels through me, and
Mm.
universe channels through me, because I get messages, and I just always felt like God got me. Like, I trust the process. Everything that's meant for me will find me, and I'm just going to keep on going. And there's no failure. I always felt like I'm not going to be a failure. Like, I will succeed because I'm trying, and there's no failure because it's a lesson. And again, in a very young age, that was my thought process. Did I read books? Not at that time. Did I have a mentor? Not at 16. But there's just something by grace of God was installed in me to stay okay. Stay positive. You have to help others to stay positive. Like, again, every time I walked into the room, people came with problems. I mean, that's why I became a hairdresser, I guess, right?
Was it? I mean, I thought because you like hair.
Part of it was I wanted to make people feel beautiful in my chair, in my presence. I wanted to give that, be kind to them. I want to almost like heal them. I didn't know that at 11, but as I start understanding what hairdressing is, and also I almost didn't do it because I had to speak to people.
Wow. Wow. I'm like, okay, let's talk more about your hairdressing business, because that you did mention hairdresser, in your bio, and I'm just like, here you got this all this positive energy. This is just, I love that share with what your father shared with you. Can you repeat it one more time?
That it's community, right? It's all about community, and make sure that everybody's taken care of. Maybe not saying the
Yeah.
same as I did before, but it's all about do it because it's the right thing to do. You're not doing it for applause. You're doing because it truly comes from your heart, and you're not waiting for some sort of award.
Right. And then you decided to become a hairdresser. Was this something that you always thought you would do as a young girl? Or was this, yeah?
Yeah, 11. And I vividly remember sitting on the floor with my friends. I picked the doll with the longest hair and the comb, and they're sitting there being a doctors. And I'm like, oh, you can do the operation. I'll do the hair after.
You make them look pretty after the operation.
So and I'm always, I didn't know, I knew from young age I wanted to do hair. I wanted to make people pretty, or prettier, but I did, there's so much psychology into hairdressing. I think, I wish they did give us psychology, because
Mm.
you really have to sit there and understand humans.
Mm.
Get up on myself, start reading books, search, understanding that if somebody comes in with the hair down to their toes, exaggerating, and they want to bangs, they're going something. Or somebody comes as a brunette, they want to be platinum blonde. I'm sorry. Let's see what's happening with your partner. Are you having a
Yeah.
difficult day? They look at me. Well, how did you know? I said, I know you for 5 years. Or even if you, the first moment you walk into my salon, already that's a sign of running away from something, right? So
Ooh, I
it,
got chills.
yeah, so it's not just, you don't, I guess that was for me. If when I always used to say that in my hair is therapy with the haircut.
Yeah, you know what? That is so true. And then, when you talk to the hairdresser, right? It's when you have a good one, there's a nice conversation that comes about it. But I'm thinking what came up for me was what my after my second divorce, I chopped my hair off and
Oh,
highlighted it. And I never dyed my hair anything before. So I was like a virgin to getting my hair dyed. And I put blonde streaks in it.
yeah,
And I'm like, ooh, I think it's time to bring that back, but not with my short haircut because it was short. I cut it
sure.
really short.
Yeah, and it's, depending what you're doing for. If you're doing to celebrate the divorce, right, not run away from it, it's a different concept. So I can tell you this story. I had a woman, her husband didn't want her to be blonde. or have light hair. She refused. She's like, no. And the moment she uh, signed those divorce papers, she's like, let's go, girlfriend. I'm like, okay, we're celebrating the freedom, right? There's a reason for that, right? Like she wanted that light and love, it's
Mhm.
there's a reason from it, right? Change is good, but we have to understand why it's happening, no matter what your life is, right? Life is changed. The only thing we know that I am different than an hour ago, right? I learned
Mm.
an hour ago that now I'm bringing it to this and I'm different. So it's just I'm an hour older, right? So change is something that it cannot be changed.
Or an
It's not
hour, or an
right.
hour wiser.
Well, just moving forward. That's one thing that cannot be changed. Okay, somebody asked a question. I was on a panel, and they said, "What is one thing that we're all gonna do?" All of us. And me thinking so out of the box, I said, die.
I think I would have said the same thing. I am dying.
That one said fall in love. Well, not everybody falls in love, right? Not everybody falls in love. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's good, but not everybody falls in love. Some I know people never felt that. I mean, I felt a little too much. Maybe it's not such a thing that I've lost myself in love, but that could be another podcast.
Oh, we could talk about that here too.
So love is a very powerful thing, but I'm saying death is all of us is going to be going to die, right?
Mhm.
Not all of us are, that's something that is like, and it's like, okay, they thought about it. So you're right, that everybody's going to experience, no matter where they come from, religion, color, race, ethnicity. No, it doesn't matter. We're all going to go one day, not yet, but one day.
One day. Yeah. Wow. I want to hear more about this lost in love, though.
And that just gets to your heart, and you have a relationship with yourself, pretending to be in a relationship with them for the next 20 years and trying to cut umbilical cord. I mean, I don't know, maybe not everybody, but I love very hard.
I
you
love that. And I feel like you just wear love on your sleeves. It's just open. It's just exuding from you and I love it. Thank you. Thank you for being present and just spreading your love, just your energy, right? You are love. We are all love. We just
you're,
forget sometimes.
you're amazing. You just bring it out of me. It's such a I feel like I know you all my life.
Yeah, we're so family right here,
Right.
right?
I truly that. I truly believe in that.
Same here. You shared from the last time we spoke, you've been through some incredible experiences. And also it seems pretty magical too, and for me, magic is even the little things, that we don't take for granted. Like we got to look at the little things, but you've been through some big stuff like not just being married twice and divorced twice. I mean, but it's the accident. And you said it left you in like the severe pain and brought you to something else that you do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you share about that?
Absolutely. So 15 years ago, I was on a way to go home and change and celebrate my 43rd birthday. And a gentleman fell asleep behind the wheel and T-boned us. And my life was never the same. Chronic pain, anxiety, depression arrived. Chronic pain where I needed epidurals and cortisone shots and Vicodin and Norco and Oxycontin. And, as a hairdresser, holiday season, my birthday is November, that's where you make your money. You make easy 5,000 extra on gifts and whatever else. That's like, we look forward to that moment of that extra spending money for whatever. And that didn't happen to me because my car accident happened 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And life was never the same. The journey was dark. The journey was difficult. As I said, I thought I had a community, but it wasn't real. They all were gone when I could not support them, doing hair for free. I made the most money out of my friends, and there you go. My father said, "Take care of all," so I did. Help with
Mm.
groceries to people out. If I wanted to go out, I don't drive. Come, girl, I'll give you a couple of dollars for gas. Dinner is on me. But nobody was there, even though they said, anytime, in conversation, I'm here for you, Irene. So that was really hard pill to swallow. The superficial friendships. Was I bitter? Yes, I was. Even though I did everything from my heart, but I've never asked anything from anyone. It's very hard for me to ask. I'm a giver, not taker,
Mm,
and but no one was there. And so as I was healing and I was trying to, in the midst of losing my mental, physical, and emotional and financial access and support, that I had to also figure out how to forgive friends that were not there. So it wasn't easy. Depression sank in even more. And then as doctors ignored my pain, it got worse. It got worse. It took 9 months to get my epidural. To make a long story short, the neglect was so tremendous that the part of the brain that deals with pain basically collapsed.
mm,
And had to release it in a shaken it released it in a shaken and spasm, and I didn't know when it would start, when it would end. And that was 3 years of my life, 6 years altogether, chronic pain. One doctor finally told me $1,000 out of pocket. He specialized in pain management for cancer patients, and when I walked into his office, he said, Irene, your brain is on fire. Your brain is not in equilibrium. I didn't understand any of that. I was just happy there was a name. I thought that was a disease. I was like, hallelujah. Now we can take care of this. Because, it's when doctors don't understand pain, like you can't measure it. They understand a diagnostic issue, right? MS, Parkinson. I was tested for all of that, Lou Gehrig's disease, Alzheimer's. I don't know why. I wasn't losing my mind. I was just losing
yeah,
control of my body, but I didn't care. Give it to me.
yeah,
Then there's a way of fixing it, right? With medicine or something. Here, they were just
yeah.
Russian roulette. And he gave me medicine that cost $250 to make the brain into homeostasis. Now, when I talk about it, he was getting me ready for the God's miracle that was delivered. Because 8 years ago, I said, I'm done, because they told me I was going to be in a wheelchair, and let us know when you need the next prescription. I could not imagine my daughter taking care of me. She was 12 when this is all happening. I could not see her taking care of me for the rest of my life, or my life, and be a burden. So I said, I rather go. She cries at one time, and life goes on, right?
Mm,
And that actually gave me relief, because knowing that she has to struggle with me, um, I didn't want that. So I prayed to go, and God didn't want me to pray to go. He wanted me to pray to stay and ask for a miracle. So I prayed. And I've learned the power of prayer, that we have to be very specific on what we're praying for, and open heart and mind, because it delivers.
mm,
Not the way we want it, but the way He desires for us. So, and that journey was very powerful as well. So I did ask for drug-free, non-invasive, no chemicals, no side effect, affordable, because at 2 pennies, I was $15,000 in debt, trying all kinds of stuff. And I said, if it's a business, let me do it out of a wheelchair. That, because I can't stand, I won't be able to stand. And in order to understand, you have to see my body shake and
mm,
at the full scope of it. And I released it, and I said, if you answered, I will share the power of you, that you believed in me and I didn't believe in you. And if this technology helps me, it. I'll be sharing that you send me a gift that I did not believe in. I was done. And within 4 months, the gift was given, and I didn't want it. I said no to the gift, because I was waiting for my 10th epidural, because my case was about to be over. And I went, taking my daughter to Europe. She deserved it. 16, 17, 18th birthday, all in one. And
mm,
the magic technology worked. And I didn't have that epidural. It's 12 hours on the plane. I went with my little magical technology and had the best time there. And that's the journey began, of living the best life and sharing, like I promised. It wasn't easy in the beginning, right? Because especially chronic pain community, like I was in, still am supporting it. Oh, here, try this. Or here, try this. None of it worked. And that's why I didn't want to do this, because the disappointment of this not working would be more painful than the pain that I lived in. Because I made peace with that pain.
Mm.
I accept it in many ways. And, but thank God my friend did not give up on me and just said, put that thing on. I don't know what it's going to do, but let's see.
Wow, whew, that's an incredible story and just incredible experience in itself. And here you are, not in a wheelchair. You are moving greatly from my end. And where are you now? Like what is going on in your life? You're over here. So this was how long ago? You said it took 4 months for it to work.
Oh, no, no. She sent it. I said 4 months for the beautiful blessing to come my way after
Okay.
eight. I said no for 4 months. I didn't
Okay.
want it. So the car accident happened 15 years ago, and the blessing came 8 years ago.
Oh my goodness. So all this, wow. Okay, so that makes sense. Or it brings clarity because I'm like trying to get the idea of, how this was in a timeline. So
Yeah,
15 years ago, you had the accident. 8 years ago, you found this magical patch that has helped you with your chronic pain.
yeah.
And now, where are you at today?
I'm on your
Presently.
show. I'm sharing my story. Uh, Traveling the world, sharing my story. I've shared it through Europe, in UK, Edinburgh. I've shared it through Zoom all over the world. I've put my story in a compilation of a book. I'm speaking on summits. Every day you can find me everywhere doing some sort of a video, some sort of a live, and inspiring people to not give up and stay in hope, and letting people know that your difficult moment doesn't define you, it actually becomes your superpower. And at one moment through my journey, when I was sitting in my chair and where I prayed for this miracle, and I said, this is uh, the accident that I never thought I needed.
Hmm.
And it changed my life, right? Sometimes things that come into our lives we didn't think we needed, but it without this car accident, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to use my voice. It gave me the voice that I never wanted per se, but I don't know how to live without it now. So that, this is, I get emotional because it literally that difficult moment that I didn't need it in my life, but I would not understand this journey without it. And I became a completely different human being, even more empathetic, even more sympathetic. Like, I'm going to be honest, I judged people. It humbled me so much because my resilience, my mind was so strong that no matter where I was, and I've been in some difficult moments, but my glass was always overflowing. I always could control my mind, and I knew that I can fix it. I could find a way. But first time in my life, I gave away my mindset to the doctor, and I lost that mindset. So I've learned so much to be gentle, not only with myself and give myself grace, but ask the same thing of others to do for themselves. And so it's, losing things in your life, well, at least humbles you. And that's why I also very much use my voice to say, don't be bitter, be better.
Hmm.
Your story now becomes somebody else's hope and light.
Yeah. I just want to sit with this because it's a lot. Don't be bitter, be better. That is something you keep, that you said because I'm like, I'm integrating this, with all that hardship, and thinking of my own situation too, how relatable your story is with many of us who's been through hardship and just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired. And you were almost at that point, you know.
I surrendered, and it was very
Mm,
interesting. The word is very complicated for me, and the epiphany of that surrendering came through a podcast that I was on. And while I was sharing my story, I said I gave up, but then the woman said, "No, you surrendered to the higher power. You finally stopped walking alone and carrying that burden." And how many of us do that? Because it's hard for me to ask for help. But
mm,
first time in my life, God said, "Just release it." Right? Like, I'll make the decision for you. And I was so tired and didn't care. I'm like, take it, I'm done. Here's the choices. You make a decision. And I'm like, I made peace to go. Because I couldn't be here anymore. And the way I was, lost, broken, useless, hopeless.
mm,
Like, if I didn't love myself at the time, who would love me? Like, how
mm,
does life look like who wants this burden? Like, I really talk down to myself. I've never really talked ever down to myself. So, and I had a pity party. I had a bitter party. And you have to, what I also learned, that you have to acknowledge every single feeling and emotion. That's the
mm,
only way you can become better, not bitter, because the bitterness is the pain we're carrying and the anger toward others.
mm.
We have to be able to forgive them without them saying, I'm sorry. And it's not easy. I'm not going to lie.
Wow, you're preaching right now. Bitter is a pain that we carry, but acknowledging our feelings, and thank you for being so raw with your experience because, looking at you, talking with you, you're so uplifting and so happy and so energized. And to hear you say you went through this time of just chronic pain and the bitter party, who would love me? And these are some of the things that I remember telling myself too. So I'm like, I know I'm not the only one that has been here, but you found this light, this path to continue to keep showing up and to get up. And I love how you shared, that giving up wasn't you giving up, but surrendering.
Yeah. And, you know, emotions are really important. And I show it truly and honestly. Um, and I think for me, authentic self is the key because, as you said, I look so happy. And when people
Mm,
just start following me, they see this, you know, woman that's shining bright. But I did a post this morning. It took 35 years to get here. Took
mm,
35 years to find my courage. It took 15 years really going deep and say what you really want. What are you going to do with your voice? How are you going to build a community? I want to shine bright for the people like me, single mothers, immigrants, women, right? That's trying to create, and maybe people saying no,
mm,
and when it becomes bilingual, it's even more difficult because we absolutely just in a different completely breed. We have to work much harder
mm,
to be and heard. So emotions is okay. It's a must actually. Until you can't, if you don't feel them, you don't heal from them. And it's hard to go deep. I mean, I went in therapy and I went deep. Like I said things that I never thought I would openly say, but that's really,
mm,
they no longer hold me anymore, right? I'm released by saying it and by doing this incredible podcast with all of you beautiful hosts that gives us opportunity to share. It's healing for me too, because the more I speak about it, the easier it gets.
mm.
And it becomes tears of joy, not tears of sadness.
Well, I hope everyone is getting all the beauty and wisdom that you're sharing here right now. And something that I'm hearing again and again is how authenticity is honoring our feelings, you know, that in order to not that and I think it's like even honoring the messy and the struggles and the feelings that comes with it, like we're taught to, oh, you got to be strong and not show emotions and just show that, emotions are weakness. But you're like, nope, this is how I was feeling. This is how I was in, even your dark place, the dark spaces you were in. And this is what protruded out, finding my voice and using my voice and asking myself, how am I going to use it? So there's hope.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
There's hope. And I lost that hope. And that's where I got to a place where I was praying to go, because I felt so hopeless. So hold on to hope. I tell people, if you lost your faith, hold on to your hope. If you lost hope, pray. I prayed even I didn't believe in it, but it gave me some peace. I'm like, I don't know why I'm praying to you, God. You haven't heard me for 6 years. I don't know why I bother. But here I am. Maybe figure out to send me a miracle. Oh, like, why me again? Like, I just came from 10 years of hell and now back in hell. So it's okay to have these conversations, right? Like, it's okay. If you're not angry, you're not healing. I'm sorry. I don't care what these coaches are going to come at me. Yes, if you're not healing, if you're not angry, you're not healing.
Mm.
First, you get through the anger. When you're seven steps of grief, right? One of them is anger, loss, acknowledging that you didn't, and again, look, it's not always about the other person. I'll
Yeah.
give you a different perspective. You have to take responsibility for your own life and what you allowed in it. And I
Mm.
allowed it in my life. So I cannot blame the other people, because I allowed them to take my space. I allowed them not to be respectful of my time. I allowed them to use me and abuse me, because I am, I want to keep everybody. I wanted to keep everyone happy. I didn't want to rock the boat, but resentment was building. So don't do that anymore, right? I
Yeah.
surround myself equal energy. I give, you take. It's not just give, give, give and take. So we
Yeah.
also have to be responsible for who and what we allow into our lives.
Wow. Yes. Yes. And I love how you said take responsibility, and to listen to what is coming through. Like if you're like how you brought up resentment, why am I feeling resentment? What is it that I'm doing that is, or what am I allowing to bring up this feeling of resentment or anger or pain or hurt? And what feelings do you want to feel? Love, happiness, joy, right? So probably something that we're doing is not resonating or allowing others to treat us as so. That's bringing this, feelings. And this is just that awareness piece. So I love how you're sharing that. And then the
It,
7 steps of grief, right? And, anger is one of them, but there's all these different feelings, but it's like a spiral. But it's
yeah,
like that deep part of acknowledging our feelings,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's okay to say no. I had to learn that. It's okay to say no. I was a yes person. Yes, yes, yes. And I would get, I'm exhausted from the yeses. Because I wanted people to be happy. I'm building a community, but you can say no. It's okay to take care of yourself and step
Mhm.
away, and the house is not going to burn down. Make sure you give yourself self-love and self-worth, and I also talk about putting yourself on the list first, not the last. It has to start with you. You can't pour from an empty cup, and I poured from an empty cup for years, and most people don't even have themselves on the list.
Mm. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And how do you show yourself self-love?
So, I mean, every day I do something nice for myself. Like, I don't stress out anymore. Really, I don't. I'm like, listen, I trust the journey. God provides no matter what. So, morning yoga, then I go, maybe work a little bit, have myself a cup of coffee, tea. I don't really do coffee at home. Make myself lunch. Then I work a little bit. I try to go for a walk. I treat myself sometimes to a nice dinner. Like Fridays is Friday celebration. I celebrate myself, and I'm so happy doing this. And the baby steps that we take all through the week, and I ask people to celebrate the baby steps, because
Mhm.
most people only celebrate the large steps, and this is what the society say. It's the big things, it's the car, it's the engagement, it's the wedding, it's the baby, but it takes little tiny steps to get you to that promotion. So, and most people quit because they're waiting for that big step, but sometimes it doesn't come because you don't honor the journey of the baby steps. And I dance, so I'm about to dance after we're done, and I celebrate myself with music, and I dress up and I put a little lipstick on, and I really make it a big event on Fridays and celebrate all the blessings that come to me. And periodically treat myself to a spa day. Like I do, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Just going for a walk and buying yourself a cup of coffee or sitting with a book. I have to figure out how to do that, but my life is just go, go, go. So I slow down, and then it's okay to slow down. Friday night, I turn off my phone for at least 24 hours. I'm not on social media. And if I am on social media, I don't post. I may just kind of uh, comment a little bit, but I really try to give 5, 6 hours, no technology. Like, so
Mm.
tonight, that's what's going to happen. I'll come back tomorrow morning and maybe just do one post or something, but try to really go watch a movie, right, and be with myself. So that's, I mean, there's so many different ways. Just going for a walk, sometimes it's beautiful. People don't even have that for themselves.
I love that. Yes, you're incredible. Like this is incredible share because now I'm like, yeah, let me go take a walk because I'm living up in where I'm surrounded by nature. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a walk after we get off and move my body a little bit. I love the simple things, how that can be self-care, right?
Yeah, a cup of coffee quietly with no phone, no TV, nothing. Just with us. We like, even me. Quickly, the next live, the next pose, the next, and we just breathe. Like we have to breathe. You know,
Mhm.
like I used to take salsa classes. I used to take yoga class before. Now I'm going to go back to that. That was my time for me. That you can't have the phone there. You have to figure out how to disconnect from the social media, right?
Mhm.
I get my feet nails done. That's treat for myself every 4 weeks. That is my time for me, and I
Mhm.
go, and I do it. So stop feeling guilty. Taking care of yourself. That's another message I always say.
Mhm.
Stop taking care, feeling guilty, taking care of yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. And are you still doing hair by any chance? I'm curious.
Sure, I do twice a month. I have some very loyal clients that would not take no for an answer. They come to this little hole in the wall salon, and I love it. I don't want to ever stop doing it. And what I have is, sure, once in a while a new person pops in, great. But I'm not. That's not my focus. My focus is this: inspiring people to not give up, helping bring awareness of this incredible technology, because every single person benefits from it. You do not have to be in pain, from a baby to teenager to adult to grandparents. And it's so funny when they say grandparents. I'm a grandparent. I have 5 grandchildren. It always makes me feel like, when I say grandma, you're supposed to be old, but I'm not dead. I'm old. I'm not
No,
old.
no, no, no. You have experience and wisdom, and now you can,
Yes, I'm aging like wine.
yes, yes. I love that. Yeah. I go, it's our legacy, and for you to speak your truth and this is medicine for even your children and your ancestors because you're breaking those chains and saying, no, this is me. This is my voice. I am rising. So I just love everything that you're doing. It's so incredible and inspiring because here you came from another country, and you keep saying, oh, my English is bad. But no, your English is great. I understand you perfectly fine.
Thank you. Well, but it's practice, right? I mean, again, there's words I still can't pronounce, but I have to remember that most of my American friends couldn't pronounce all the words, so it's okay.
There you go. Because I'm like, there's words I can't even pronounce too. So,
It's
and
good.
yeah, and we all get tongue-tied. So, I mean, it's incredible and inspiring what you're doing, Irene. And I so grateful you're here and just sharing, even in that darkest parts of, that we go through, or seasons, I should say, or moments, feel it. let it fill you, let it inspire you. That's like what I'm taking away from everything you shared,
Yes.
and in that place where we think we're giving up, we're actually surrendering if we allow it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moment I allowed it, the doors opened. Like the
Mm,
moment I said, God, it's yours to carry now, my life changed. Like it was
mm.
so fast. Like the miracle actually came to me within a couple of days, but I kept on saying no because again, I so did not want to get disappointed. Because it was so bizarre because the miracle 8 years ago came in the form of a sock. And I'm like, how in the world this little thing is woven into this thing and I'm going to put it on and everything's going to change? It made no sense to me. But my
Right.
friend said, just put it on. So many things, lotions and potions and creams and pills and I don't know. And oh my God, it was just miraculous. I literally sat there for 20 minutes, took it off, and put it back on. I laughed and cried. My little dog is looking at me like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." I literally did shower for a week because it was the first time in 3 years that I felt calmness and peace and didn't feel my body burning up
Oh, wow.
until I got some more. Because the moment I removed it, I would go back right into
Wow.
spasm. So I literally took a shower in it. It was like, again, I need to wash my hair, but I was always afraid being in a shower because the shaking starts. I'm done. I'm falling.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
So yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's all incredible. It's the journey of our lives is incredible. My life is not that special. It's just I share it, right?
Yeah.
The truth all over. So I just want to say, don't minimize your story. Actually,
Mm,
that's a bigger message from all of this.
mm,
Everybody's story matters. Everybody's story can change your life. People say, well, I'm not sharing mine because yours is so big. No, my story is
mm,
almost too big. People can't relate when they see the video. They're like, yeah, okay, right. Right. But your story could be just like, I don't know what the story is like. You say, back pain, right? It's easy to relate to it. Or
mhm,
oh, I don't know what you've been through, grief and whatever, right? You lost something, you lost someone, you gave it up. Like people can relate to it as well. So
yeah.
don't minimize the pain. Pain is, and don't compare it
Mhm.
because we all feel it in different ways. So like I just can't say it enough. Share your story.
Mm,
Life.
thank you. Thank you for that. So, as we close, because you just shared so much wisdom with us and even shared with us that we should all be sharing our stories, don't minimize our stories. I'm taking that to heart. So, for you though, what is something you wish you knew when you were younger? Like, what would you tell your younger self?
Something. It's an interesting question because I get to a lot. Um, I asked a lot, and I have two answers. One, I don't want to know anything. For me, the road less traveled is beautiful, and I had to come to that conclusion because I used to live that I wanted to know the answer in what's going to happen to me in 6 months, and
Okay.
that's not a way to live, at least for me. And when I stopped doing that, my life changed. But so I don't want to know the future. I know the future is what I make it, right? But
Mm.
what I would tell my younger self that you're gonna make it. The little shy girl that was afraid to use her voice because she had a funny accent is now speaking on every platform she can get her little butt on.
I love that. Now you're like, I'm speaking on every platform now. Hey, little self, we're doing this.
Doing this. I'm like, we've talked about everything under the sun from pregnancy. I was in a podcast talking about sex and sensuality. I was like, I'm not an expert, but I can tell you how that came from me. And she didn't even understand how much culture makes a difference in how you see yourself sexually and sensually, right? So she's like,
Mhm.
You just blew my mind. So I mean, I've been on every podcast, conversation that probably wouldn't have had a right to be on it, but it all worked out because it's it, right?
Right. I go, you come with so much experience. You've been there, done that. Two divorces, single parenting, building a business, doing another business, car
Losing.
accident, dealt with chronic health, and still rising, still showing up, still speaking your truth
And
with
we didn't imagine the first car accident when I had out of body experience and met Jesus, but maybe that's the next one.
That's the next one. We could talk about the supernatural, right? Because
Yes, it was incredible, and it's actually the beginning. And the second car accident was the end. I'm gonna say the end. No more car accident for me. But the journey was all the whole entire journey began 23 years ago, and then 43 years. So there was no accident. Everything happens for a reason. You know.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So there's God to life, and again, every story matters.
Mm.
So start sharing yours because as people need to hear mine, they need to hear yours. I can't be the only light. You have to come and join so we can all uh, shine brighter together. It's
Mm.
a person at a time, but many different stories become a movement.
Yes. Yes.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you so gracious and graceful for sharing your platform so openly with all of us. I mean, I'm not your only guest, and I am grateful for you and to you for it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just incredibly grateful to be able to have a platform to share this space with amazing women because I just feel like our stories need to be heard. We've been quiet for too long, and to understand that we're no different from each other. We are all one, you know. We're all one, sharing, our stories to inspire, to lift up one another. So thank you, Irene, for just being here and for shining your light, your beautiful energy, your frequency with us. Thank you.
Right back. You're great. I'm just getting the reflection of what I see, and I'm giving right back.
Thank you. Well, as we
Mhm.
close, to those of you who are here listening to this incredible woman, and if you want to connect with her, her information will be in the description below. And Irene, if you want to go ahead and share where people can find you also, that would be great.
Sure. I'm pretty much in every platform you can think of, from Instagram to TikTok to Upscroll to Substack, and I couldn't pronounce that name of that platform for at least a month. Lemonade, everywhere. LinkedIn, out of all the places, Threads, everywhere, everywhere.
And they can find you at Irene Vaksberg.
Yes, Irene Vaksberg, and that will take you to God Health _ Vaksberg. But most of the platform, I am my either my first or last name.
Mm,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes. And you all who are listening, thank you for being here today. For she is Sacred Her, and that is sacred, highly exalted rebel. It is saying yes to ourselves and trusting in our own inner wisdom. And Irene, thank you again for reminding us that all our stories matter.
Amen. Thank you. They
Thank
do.
you.